Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vibe Check, our interview show about our D&D show, Skill Check. I'm Drew, and I'm joined today by my three lovely guests, Aaron, Matt, and Charlie. Please introduce yourselves and your characters for the first time appearance on Vibe Check.
Hey, I'm Charlie, aka Hugh Fructose.
Hey, I'm Matt, aka Shark Gorgon.
Hey, I'm Aaron, and I play Hemp Pumpo.
Welcome, all you guys. It's a pleasure to have you. And we're going to be asking a bunch of questions to the players about their thoughts about things on the campaign. And if you want your questions asked in any episode of Vibe Check coming up, you can find us at SkillCheckDM on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it these days. And you can ask your questions, and maybe if you're lucky enough and you have a good question, we'll put you on here. So, just to start, everybody, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How
That's
about
good.
you?
I mean, I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here. Yeah, perfect. Excellent result. It's great to see the start of the campaign, and I'm happy that we've finally gotten around to it. And I'm just gonna start laying into some questions, and I want to keep this as conversational as possible. How did the whole idea of a D&D show come about with you guys, and what were like the biggest steps that you guys remember during like development of it that you guys like appreciate or want to point out?
I don't remember how it started. I played a campaign with Arcadum, God rest his soul, and it was a lot of fun.
That's
so
what kind of show this is going to be.
yeah. And so I really enjoyed it a lot. And then at some point, I think Matt got really into Critical Role and started talking about it. And then I got into Critical Role once he started talking about it. And then I think all of us kind of took the plunge there and said we'd want to do that. There's more to it.
No, that's basically all I remember. What was the second half of the question?
Anything that during development you guys remember about being like extraordinary that you were like, I can't believe that this worked out, or like we talked to these people or whatever that you find notable?
Critical Role again.
Yeah.
Matt, Mercer, and Marisha were both super helpful, the whole gang, honestly, and you saw their video like in the middle of the animation, and they were just like the nicest, most supportive people and helped us with everything. Honestly, the whole community has been super nice, but outside of that, you got anything?
Sure. I think it was wild when we first saw the room. When it was finally built, we were like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is like, we're going all the way in on this.
Yeah, we did a real set.
Yeah, an actual set for the first time. That was beautiful.
It was so sick going in there the first time and being like, this is a room, and then like 3 weeks later being like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, this is a D&D show that we're about to do. That's sick. I also wanted to ask how your guys' expectations of the first two sessions matched up to the reality of it, like actually playing, how it felt, and what you thought about it.
I hadn't really played tabletop before, but I feel like it matched up pretty well. We did enough test games beforehand that I feel like we knew what we were going to be getting into when we started it, so I think it ended up pretty good. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Followed more or less how I thought it would.
Yeah, I was going to say, after all the test games, it was nice to, especially game 2, like, oh, we're picking up where we left off, and we've leveled up, and it's not just another one-shot, which were all fun. You guys did a great job. It's just, at some point, it was like, all right, we've been level 1 for 11
They were
games.
garbage. They're never making it to film because they were bad.
They were great, especially that one that just was blank that you made.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's how DMing is sometimes. It just happens.
Yep.
Expectations?
Yeah, they pretty much. What happened is exactly what I expected to be happening for the most part. I think the test games were huge in like figuring out exactly what it was going to be like and made it easy and fun.
Yeah. And you guys said that you got into Critical Role. Like, I love thinking about the differences between what you guys were expecting because you had seen that kind of stuff or any other shows that you had seen. What do you think about like the differences of our show and any other show that you've seen?
I think we're pretty
like
close,
them?
honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's
Same level.
one. I'd say it's almost 1-to-1. Like
Yeah.
we might be in Vox Machina season 3.
That's
honestly.
true. We'll
The-
be appearing left and
The
right.
asshole Ant-Man maneuver probably makes it in.
The animation on that is gonna go crazy.
It'd be wild.
Oh man. Okay, next up, I wanted to ask. Well, and I'm sure the world wants to ask, how 2 DMs? Why 2 DMs? How did you guys get there, and and why, and what's the game plan, I suppose?
Yeah, so I don't even know that you guys, well, you don't, but I don't know if you know either, where we brought Drew out, and we were like, wow, that was awesome, that's our DM, we're going to go forward. And then, so Caleb knew Ryan, so we brought Ryan out, even though we were like, we're probably going with Drew, he ran a kick-ass game, and then after we were like, fuck, like, they're both really good. I legitimately, Ryan left after the second game, and Charlie and I both were just in a room, and we were like, what do we do? Like, it was tough. You both were very good in completely different ways, like, all of it was great, but you, like, basically completed each other. So that's kind of how that came about.
I definitely didn't ask that question just so that you guys could compliment me over
Yeah.
and over. That would be weird.
We couldn't figure out who was worse.
Yeah, of course. Of the two of us, then, who's the unstoppable force and the immovable object?
Yeah, sure.
I love these. The who of the two is what is my favorite question. It's like the best.
I just remember when we after we finished, I think it was Ryan's game, it was just me and Matt at the warehouse one day, and you came in and you said, so which one did you like more? And I asked you like a kid asking for Christmas presents. I was like, can I have both? I was like, can we have both of them do it? And you were like, that's what we were thinking. And I was like, yay. Unstoppable. I feel like Ryan's just like, he's like fucking
forward.
blasting through it all.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. And I
He's
feel
here.
like you're just kind of like blocking him back, especially as the curators. I feel like you guys kind of match your curator
Yes.
sort of personalities pretty well.
It was so much fun, like at the very nascent stage of talking about the game and just being like, there should be a curator. And we're like, there's two of us, there should be two curators. And then we came up with what you guys see, and hopefully we'll see lots more of. I have a audience question. We have Crown Combat on Twitter asks, what inspired Hughs' powers? And I'm going to extend that to you guys as well once Charlie's done answering.
I was looking through all of the different races, and I saw Plasmoid, and I immediately thought of like Chaos from Sonic. I was like, that's just a cool image. And then as I was like choosing my Plasmoid character, I came across an image on, I think it might have been 5e Tools or something, of a GIF. And he had like stupid goggles and like an assassin mask on. And he was a fucking giant hippo. I was like, whoa, wait. Now I don't know. So then kind of like with the DMs, I'm like, I want both. So that's how that came. And his powers, I think obviously just stem from him being like in between states of matter. So he can go liquid or just be like a big, solid, huge hippo. I was just like, hey, he could be an assassin with that. He could disguise himself as candy and treats and kill people.
I like that.
One of my favorite comments I saw, it was a negative one, but it was like, Hugh Fructose, ? Can't believe they're not taking this seriously. And I was like, have you ever watched a single thing we've ever done?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the biggest shock on a little tangent of people being like, Critical Role, Dimension 20, and then they're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like Critical Role is so like high and tight, and then Dimension 20 is a little bit looser,
Yeah, a
but they
little
still are
goofier.
all like, they're performers. Like they
they're
bring
professionals.
heat. And then we're just like, yeah, and then we're like, we go off someone's ass.
Yep.
Episode 2, why not?
You know, technically, to be a pro at something, you just have to get paid to do it. So you're right, we are pros.
Exactly.
We're
That's-
just like them.
All my friends at home, they're like, do we have to pay you now that you're running
Yep.
our game and you're a pro DM? And I'm like, yep.
Yep.
And I'm bumping the hourly rate.
I showed it to one of my friends too, and he was saying it's super cool where he watches both D20 and Crit Roll, and he was saying like they're the pros, they're unreachable, and this is like a real D&D table with higher production, and like he said it's what every group wishes they could do, and so I thought that was cool.
We gave 8 crack smokers dice and a table,
Yes.
and this is what they did.
And we got some blinky lights behind them,
Yeah.
and it's cool.
Your character power,
yeah.
and theme, I guess.
Yeah, my dad's a lawyer, so
Done.
make a lot of jokes about that. So I named him Shark because people call lawyers sharks, and he's from hell because people say lawyers are going. It's all a big joke on lawyers. I'll leak it a little bit here, but my last name is Gorgon. My brother and I have the law firm Gorgon and Gorgon against the people. Please don't
Absolutely.
sue me. Just send a cease and desist. I'll change it.
I'm a sting agent, actually.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit.
it's over.
Yeah, I'll go. When we started playing Baldur's Gate, I saw the little gnome character, and I was like, that's my absolute guy. And I had always played martial classes, so I was like, I wonder how like wizardry scales. And then after we got to like session 4, I was like, this guy's gonna go absolutely wild at a point.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of having like a little forest creature wandering around with a goofy little like southern accent.
Yeah. I mean, the accent is so sick. I love every single time you speak and just cake honas everywhere, and I'm just like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this. Another person from Twitter, Masterian, asks, what's been your favorite part of the game so far?
I was worried we wouldn't really get into the role play that much, but I feel like that's been the best part so far.
Yeah.
Just like all the characters communicating. I saw some people worried that with 7 people, like relationships maybe wouldn't form between characters, but I think we've actually done, especially in episode 2, I think we've had a really good job of having character moments between people.
Yeah. Having them talk and like interact.
Yeah.
Super true.
I agree with. I feel like episode 2 we hit our stride. People were interacting. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
Favorite moment?
The first time Aaron killed people and just reacted like a absolute maniac who was losing his mind.
Or like a normal person who had never...
All right, that's a good point.
Like, imagine if you accidentally picked up something and threw it at someone and it killed 2 people.
Yep.
Like, you would be shocked.
No, that
Maybe you
was
wouldn't.
by far the best, and it's just here to stay. It's so good.
Yep.
Favorite part. This is a deep cut, but I thought it was really cool to weave in one of our one-shots into the actual lore of the main game. So
Yep.
Gilroth Rolodex was the character I played in one of our one-shots.
Right.
So him being like the wanted guy I think is really fire, and I'm curious to see if we get to him, like what he's been up to and what he's doing. I think that's just a really fun idea of bringing things together.
Yeah, and he's not the only one. This is from the first game that Ryan ever ran for you guys at Spaceport.
Yep.
And after you guys had played that, we were like, okay, we have to go back. And then after we saw the animation, it was like, all right, all these puzzle pieces, they're going together too perfect. We also met Bing Bong, which is
Yep.
Matt's character. Excellent. And then Dolph, which I think is Caleb's character. Yeah. Very sick.
The four-armed.
Forge guy.
That was Danny.
Danny.
Yeah. Forge cleric.
Oh, yeah, the bringing the hammer down. Oh, yeah. Another question from Twitter. Ben asks, do you guys have any plans to have guests on? And then he very specifically called out Critical Role, of course, because how can you not after the trailer? But I wanted to extend that question to if you guys could, like, kidnap any celebrity or anyone to put onto the show, who would you get? Who's your big get?
Aaron had a crazy list. Who was on there? Ron DeSantis. George Santos. Yeah, Santos.
Some time on his hands.
He's got. Yeah,
He has to go out quick, so that joke's.
yeah, still timely.
Yep.
I think it'd be cool to have on. Like, I'd really like to have on like the squad I played with in the Arcadum game. Like, I'd love to have that crew come
Yes.
out like at different intervals, not all at once, because that'd be too big. But I think it'd be really fun to reunite with them and bring them into the fold in some way.
Oh, yeah.
This is a weird one that you actually mentioned him today, but Matthew Lillard is huge into D&D
Oh.
and would be so much fun to bring out and play with. That would be great.
I don't know who that is.
Shaggy, yeah, from the Scooby-Doo movie.
William Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be sick.
He would be so cool.
That's an awesome poll.
I think realistic person, I think still is Germa. I think would fit in super well. I saw a comment
100%.
about him. Celebrity, I don't know. Ice Spice probably. Going back to the Ice Spice well on that one.
That would be
Yeah.
so
Wait, you think going back to
I just feel like we mention her a lot. She comes up pretty often. But
the household name here?
yeah.
It's going to
That's-
be my favorite thing. Okay, I'm someone who's basically nobody who was picked out of the crowd and is now a DM for you guys, which is a very singular experience, but something that I'm going to love doing with that is just bringing any name that I can think of and slapping it on something that I'm on. So my call out is XP to level 3. I want him down here. I want to play in a game. I want to run a game. I need to talk to this man. His mind.
I watch all of his stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very, very big. Last question. No, second to last question from Twitter. How often are we planning on posting the show? And then this extends to a bunch of people who are asking on what platforms. This is way more of like a PR question and less like a personalized question.
Do you want to take it?
You want to take it?
Go for it, King.
It's canceled.
That was the
over.
end. That was the finale.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it.
2 sessions were enough.
Yeah, I think once a week. So we play on Wednesday, post on the following Wednesday. So streamed on my main channel and then Twitch channel. The full unedited VOD goes on this channel, the skill check one, and then I'm gonna be posting like edited, like way edited down like highlight moments from it. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that to keep the story somewhat intact, but I think at that point it doesn't matter. I'll probably just do like the goofiest, wackiest shit for it.
Yeah, we're thinking it's probably gonna have some element of summary, but I think just getting like highlights is super important.
Yeah. I think maybe we could do like a Star Wars scrolling text that goes
Oh my
through
gosh.
the story and then just all the highlights of it.
How dense that text is.
Yeah.
We could just use YouTube's transcript system. We'll just copy paste the
Oh,
whole
that's huge,
transcript
yeah.
and just paste it.
It only sits next to us like a stenographer, like
Oh
in a court,
my
where they're just typing like key phrases in.
We'll get a stenographer and a sketch artist so they can, and we'll just post that up. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's absolutely the best idea. All right, last question from the internet. I have from Rent. Why is Matt so cute?
Oh, from Rent, huh?
Yeah,
I don't
from
know.
Rent.
I don't know who that is, but
Yeah.
you know what? We'll fly him out here.
Some strange person said something about how cute you are.
That was my favorite. I was sitting at the table. We were getting ready to play. I opened Twitter. I saw that, and I just leaned down into my lapel mic, and I was like, "I see your comment," and he just cracked up behind me. It was so good.
Oh, so good. Have you guys seen any like things on Twitter or on social media and comments that are sticking out in your head? Because you brought up the bad comment before, I guess negative comment. Is there anything that you guys have seen that you're like, oh my gosh, that's a good idea, or like that's super funny?
Not for like ideas or anything, but just when, God, I don't even remember when it was in the campaign, but the chat was spamming Hughs, and that was cute.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I remember seeing balls over and over and over
lots
again.
of
That's
balls.
like my favorite thing.
Anything on you?
I liked going, like all the comments have really been more or less pretty positive, but I liked seeing the YouTube chat. We were like leveling up and everything, and it got to the first skill check part, and Caleb was like, "They're tearing you asunder, brother." Like, that nat one's crazy.
Should have rolled better, I guess.
I said, "Did anybody call me a beast though? Did anyone think that was sick?"
You also saw that one comment from the guy who's like, "Man, what is this? Taking a trip in Yappersville?" When's the action?
It was so cool because it's like, brother, have you ever seen D&D before? He was like, "Why are they role playing, man?
Yeah.
Why aren't they rolling those dice?"
The same, like all over the place, I'm seeing like L stream so boring, and I'm like, let's throw up Subway Surfers.
Yeah, we gotta have
we can
something.
only tend to the crackheads for so long.
That is going.
Yappersville's so good.
That was the incredibly unique experience with the comments. Was role playing is already like we are grown men sitting at a table imagining things. together.
Yeah.
Like it's already. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And like D&D is like not cringy, but it makes people cringe. You've got to sit there and get rid of that in your head.
It's
So-
not something you do every day, so it's
Exactly.
like it's pretty out of the norm.
Yeah, so sitting there and everybody's like role playing and stuff, and people are like, "That's so cringe." You're like, "Oh shit."
Oh, I did cringe again.
Oh no. I've done it again.
Oh. Yeah, I remember, I know this is going off on a me tangent, but my first home game, getting all my friends, they were like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "Guys, give it a month. You're going to love this." Still playing. It's just how it
Yep.
it's just how it ends up.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
It really is. Just
I think
gotta
the
get
test
used to
games
it.
I think the test games went a long way
Yeah.
for that too.
Oh, from the first test game to now, it's like night and day. It's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. It just takes a little practice. I have a question for Aaron. Whoa. How is it playing a normal person? We already covered this a little. A normal person who can cast magic, never done murder, surrounded by your two couchmates who are both basically contract killers. One of them very literally a contract killer.
Yeah.
Like, how does that dynamic play in your head, I guess, before you sit down and then, like, we're seeing it play out in front, but, like, moving forward, it's got to be developing.
Yeah, well, before that first fight, I really, like, character-wise, I don't think Hemp had any idea. Like, they were nice enough guys to me. They were sweethearts.
Just
and they
homies.
Didn't, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't ask about their past lives at that point. That was all. There was no like downtime really in the first episode, so the characters were just kind of going. There was no time for conversations between them. So I don't think he knew. I think he figured that out himself. I think he killed before they did.
Yeah, yes.
I think I got the kills, and then they were like, "Hey, great job, man!" And I was like, I was haunted by it. 1,000-yard stare.
say, you just literally had that on your face.
Yeah.
And then now in session 2, it was Hemp trying to resolve like, surely this person has done bad, and,
Yeah,
and
he's
that
just
way his death can be
justification.
justified.
He's really having like a Manchester by the Sea sort of moment where he's just haunted by his past.
And then moving on to you guys, how is it playing 2 like death-dealing characters and seeing this guy who's like, how could I kill? And you're like, what?
I think it's a lot more fun because there are 2 of us. Like the interaction where you were telling me your craziest kill and stuff, I just think is so fun. We're like, we can high five after fights, and it's not just one murder machine.
Yeah.
And we both still have, I won't call them morals, but we have levels.
Yeah.
Like there are
Yeah.
people we won't kill.
Yeah. Namely, people under the age of 3.
Under the age of 3. Well,
Yeah.
The 3-year-old could have been Hitler.
I wanted so badly during the game to scream, Charlie killed Hitler?
Yeah.
Before that ever happened?
Yeah, it wasn't just for nothing. He was going to be a terrible guy.
You just have to have a read on the target.
That's exactly
it was hard
right.
to kill that 3-year-old for a reason after
Yeah.
all.
Hired by a time traveler, hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely time travel, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not just for fun or for money. We're coming to wrap, but for you guys and also for your characters, what characters in the show do you find most interesting or like your favorite? So this could be your player characters with your table mates or any NPC that Ryan's been playing up until this point. Like, who are your like top 2 favorite characters that you're seeing and you're looking forward to seeing more of?
I want to see more from the curators. I want to know all the inner workings. I feel like they're still very mysterious, and then I want to see Gilroth Rolodex. Those are like my most anticipated characters, so I guess that makes them my favorite right now.
We saw very little of the museum and the curators, and I think that that's good. I think it's by design. I want, as a DM, as part of the super DM team, I like the idea of like planting that and being like, all right, move out, so that now it's like you guys are thinking about it at some point.
My favorite thing in that vein, there was actually a comment on this, and instantly, like, we were all so nervous. We just started when that curator scene happened, so like everybody was pretty timid, and this comment made me realize we never were like, where the fuck are we? Why are we here?
Yep.
We were just like, okay, we're gonna move this way.
Yeah, I saw that
So
comment,
good.
and something that I thought of is like, going back to earlier in this conversation, you guys were talking about Critical Role and how like they're different and Dimension 20, and I like the idea that our table feels like just a group of friends at the
Yeah.
table, because sure, everyone has motivation. Like, I know as the Dungeon Master, because I've talked to each of you about your characters, that there's reasons why you would want to stay,
Yep.
but it doesn't have to be so like laid out. Like, you guys can just be friends playing D&D if you want to,
Yeah.
like in a space place
No,
and going
exactly.
elsewhere.
It was so funny though. But yeah, favorite characters. Honestly, right now it's Hemp and Seven for me. They're both great.
7. Just
I need more from Seven because I'm loving all of it.
Oh, yeah.
He gave us more in game 2.
so good.
People who haven't been covered yet, because I agree with them on most of it. I really like Chelsea's character. Gonna be great. Stewie and Seven both do a lot more in game 2. They kind of, really come out of their shells a little bit more. And then I think I'm also Gilroth. I'm excited to see him. I don't remember much from that one shot just because it was a while ago. I'm like excited to see him again.
Just to see what shit he got up to in the
Yeah,
meantime.
what's been happening in the meantime.
Yeah. Just rewrap them in. Yeah. Super sick. Last question for you guys. Moving forward in the campaign, or now that we're, 2 sessions in, I'd say that you guys are, far from beginners at this point. What are you looking forward to the most going forward? Is it like the conclusion of Spaceport, what arc you have next, seeing how things tie up? What's on your mind first and foremost?
I'm excited to see us level, once we get to like 5, once we really start going crazy, maybe multi-classing, things like that.
Playing real deep.
Yeah. Especially
deep in the
with 7
mechanics.
people, I feel like it's gonna, we're just like a slaughterhouse at some point. We're gonna be just a powerhouse.
A steampunk dice rolling machine of murder.
Yes. I think mine is kind of seeing how it all comes together, because like we've got the museum, we've got Spaceport, we know that there are arcs, but I don't know the inner workings and how it all comes together and the conclusion 40 years down the road type of thing.
Make a guess. Make a guess that we're gonna hold you to at the end of the show.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Just the wildest shit you can think of.
I've got one comment stuck in my head, though, that Caleb's wife, Foray's wife, ends up, she's running the whole thing. Like, she's the big bad at the end, and, like,
Oh, yeah.
she's done the entire thing.
She's just
to
gonna
us.
show up and he's gonna be like,
Yes.
what the heck?
Yes. Wait, Foray's on the couch.
What happened?
For me, I'm most excited for more things to kill.
Yeah.
Bigger targets, badder enemies, more
Unique
death.
things.
Yeah.
I do agree. Our first, like, real boss fight, I'm so excited for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The combat's been so fun so far.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on to Vibe Check. It's been a great time, and I'm excited to see you the next time that we have any or each of you on the show. And thanks, of course, for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.